Hey Geeks of Utah, have you heard of MiniCon yet? MiniCon is a mini convention held at Gamehaven Sandy here in Utah. And did I mention that it's free? At MiniCon, we're going to have special guests like Elowen and Porter from The Smoking Barrel. We're going to have tons of local artists vending and selling some of their cool, original creations and artwork. The Artist Alley is definitely one of the biggest highlights at MiniCon itself. Of course, we're going to have tons of meetups. I'm going to go ahead and post the schedule on screen, so make sure you screenshot it now. MiniCon is going to be held Saturday, April 9th from noon till 6 p.m. There's going to be a food truck, cosplayer, meetups, and all kinds of exciting things, so you're not going to want to miss out on this one.
Hey, guess what? I got something super special for you today, because today in the Rat Hole, we are live.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is...
And one of these days, I will remember to take that out. Hey, what's up, Internet? As you can see, we've got a whole lot of stuff going on here. So I'm going to switch to a real camera now, because I can do that now. I have new toys. Welcome. We've got an interesting and slightly random show. I've got Dizney Court all the way down from Utah to talk about their the Gamehaven MiniCon. So that's going to be a thing. I've got a bunch of boxes over here that I showed up home after a month and had a bunch of stuff to show off. And I'm going to bring in Diz right now. Hello, hello. And I've got you manually muted, so I will have to unmute you there. There you go.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome. You are now, MiniCon is now officially being featured on international media.
Wow. I can't believe
I'm super excited. I'm thrilled to have you on here, especially because we've been hanging out a lot over the last month. So for those who don't know, Steeped Games brought me down to Nevada for basically the last month. We did Dice Tower West in Las Vegas. We did the Gamma Trade Show in Reno. And then the World Tea Expo back in Las Vegas. I got back about a week ago. This is the first time I've actually been in my normal space. But I've got all sorts of new toys slamming this together. Dizney was at Gamma. We got to spend some time there. On our way back, we actually stopped at her store in Sandy, Utah, where MiniCon is going to be. And so, yeah, you guys saw the ad for that at the beginning. If not, I'll probably show it again at some point. And I need to switch over to this. For the record, I'm also not using my normal, hey, fun. Yes, Quartz Tea Room is going to enjoy this. I'll get to what she's literally tuned in for in a second here. Heck, I'm thirsty. I'm going to do it now. So one of the things I got at the World Tea Expo was this cool little matcha frother thing. And I've not tried it yet because, again, I just showed up. So Jen, who is right here, ding, the Quartz Tea Room, Jen, gave me this awesome little recipe. So I've got orange juice instead of hot water. And I've got their vanilla matcha mix. And I do not have a proper scoop for it, unfortunately, because I don't normally matcha.
No, we actually serve matcha at our store.
Do you?
Yeah. We don't have a frother, so we don't serve it hot typically, but we can do a pretty mean matcha frap, that's for sure.
Well, this specific recipe is cold, specifically. She usually does it in a shaker cup. And if I do this right, I'm going to switch over to my other camera here. put it right there. And in theory, I should be able to push this twice. Once for hot, once to do cold. And it's frothing away.
Technology.
Lightweight. Now I've screwed up my framing. Good enough. Of course, I was also way off mic for that, but yes. So there we go. So I'm going to let that do its thing. I'm going to come back to this.
I'm going analog today with my tea.
Ooh, what do you got? What kind of tea?
So I like it really strong. So I have one double dark chai, and then I have one decaf vanilla chai to make it sweet. But I don't know if you could tell, but there's actually nothing suspicious about this mug. No. It's quite a really good mug, and sometimes I just like to have a good. Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
My definitely not a mimic mug from Level 1 Gamers. She makes like D&D themed mugs, and I love her stuff.
And she's going to be at Minicon. Am I correct?
Kind of. She doesn't have a booth, but she's actually one of my event organizers. So she's been working a lot behind the scenes, and we've just got her mugs featured at our store anyway. So they're going to be moving at the checkout counter.
Yay! I looked at those. I was like, I'm very, very tempted. Very, very tempted. Okay, so just to sidetrack, it just dinged. So we're going to pull that over here. And let's see. Ooh, it's frothy. I'm going to put it in the see-through cup so you can see better, and hopefully I don't, spill. That's got some nice froth on it. I'll do matcha latte art a thing.
Probably, but you want to
probably
hot.
Yes. This one needs more of the vanilla matcha, or at least more vanilla. But it's good. It gives it a little bit of a creamsicle taste. And yeah, oh, there we go. One of my other writers, Deb's on here. She's tuning in for that premium tea content. It's a game channel, so of course we're going to do it with tea, right? Here. I'm going to throw in another. Oh, here we go.
Are you a fan
totally
of matcha?
Is.
Are you like a matcha drinker?
I'm not normally a matcha drinker, mostly out of time. And I now that I have this frother and some sample packs, of course, I am more likely to do more matcha. I'm going to run another hit of the matcha powder in here and just see how that goes. But yeah, I appreciate matcha, most definitely. And I know last time I was out Jen's way, that's when she turned me onto this, just with a shaker cup.
Oh.
So I'm going to whack that. I'm going to hit that. And just... Yee! It's fun. Okay. Well, that does its thing. We should get off of the tea and tell us all about Minicon.
Minicon. Yes. So, Minicon. Oh, I should have had these dates prepared. I did this last time I had an interview. I believe Minicon started in 2018. Sorry. So Minicon started in 2018, and actually my very first Minicon was not called Minicon. It was called Artist Shop and Showcase, because the whole purpose of it was for me to get some local artists who maybe weren't like quite big enough to be buying booths at the bigger conventions, and give them an opportunity to put their stuff in front of customers without relying on just like social media and online orders. So yeah, the first one happened in 2018, and it was okay. It was on a Sunday, which in Utah is not the best idea, but I was trying to pick a day when my store needed foot traffic, but it just wasn't like harmonious between us and the artists. So after that, I started rethinking, gaining some business partners and like collaborators. And then in 2019, we had our first real like mini con. and it went pretty well. So ever since then, we host one we host 1 to 3 every year. 2020, we obviously did take a break, but we opted to do an online convention that year instead. And Level 1 Gamers, she partnered with me that year to really just put on a great online show with like Discord servers and connecting on Facebook, and we had a couple live streams. So yeah, it's just been kind of a thing that has existed for us at Gamehaven since 2018, and this year things are getting a little bit big for MiniCon.
Because you kind of shared things on TikTok and things kind of went from there, didn't it?
So TikTok is definitely a new tool that I think that a lot of event organizers should be onto. Just businesses in general, if you have anything that can benefit from an audience, like you just got to go for it. And I did. And our TikTok now has like what 11,000 views, but more importantly, it has like 130 shares. And shares are key because that's somebody like sending it to their friends saying, "Hey, have you heard of this? Hey, do you want to go?" And I don't know the square footage of my store, but it's gonna
It's
be
not
really
small.
interesting.
It's not big, but it's not small either.
Yeah, it's not a small store compared to other stores in the valley. We have a bigger footprint. Um, so yeah, MiniCon's gonna get a little bigger, but not too big because it's still MiniCon. Um, I like to call it MiniCon is a meetup for big fans. But yeah, we've got some really cool things this year. The last one we held was the end of 2021, and I was also surprised by the turnout. After everything that the world has kind of been going through, people are just starving for that like human connection.
Yes.
And so that one took me by surprise. And so I'm like, cool, people want this. We're going to get back into it. So for this year, we're really trying to amp things up a notch and really give our patrons like something a little bit new, a little bit fun. And yeah, we've got some really, really cool things coming to MiniCon this year in particular.
Are you gonna have dice?
Are we going to have dice?
Yeah.
Kind
Lots and lots
well,
of dice.
my store sells dice.
Shiny math rocks.
Yeah, we've got tons. We've got metal dice, we've got plastic dice, we even have mystery dice grab bags, and recently we just got dice with like dice inclusions. That's new in our store.
You know what this sounds like is going to end up happening?
Yeah, you're gonna be spending a lot of money on dice. I mean, speaking of spending money, MiniCon is a totally free event, so it's just a fantastic thing to show up to. It's totally free. You can just come, hang out. You can cosplay if you're a cosplayer. I have a couple activities planned. Maybe a secret quest for travelers and enjoyers of fantasy. Something fun for people to actually do at the convention. We have a really delicious food truck. And of course, my favorite part is the artists. So I'm trying to cram as many small creators as I can to get a table and just have an opportunity to sell their stuff. We've got some really cool people this year.
I love it. I wish I could be there because it's just I've seen the store. I know what you can do. It's gonna be gorgeous. And just if you're watching and you haven't and you're in Utah or you know someone who's Utah, look right here below where we are. There's your date, Saturday, April 9th. And if you look just below that, it's even got the address.
Yeah, hopefully you don't have a hard time finding us. And if you are, you can now finally find us on Instagram. It's just at MiniCon Utah. And that's where we're going to post updates. I've gotten a lot of inquiries from other small artists who want a table, and we just absolutely ran out. So that's going to be a great place where I can kind of start collecting information, getting feedback, and getting people on sort of a vendor short list of people to be notified when things come up. Especially because this will not be the only minicon of this year. So there is more to come.
I love that. And one of those is going to be a really fun day, too. I know that.
Yeah, we just, possibly put something into stone, maybe sign some paperwork on what the next minicon's already going to be. So only way to be the first to find out is absolutely having to head on over to our Instagram at Minicon Utah, and those kind of announcements and information should be found there until we start to develop like a Facebook page, website, stuff like that. Right now, I mean, it's like kind of grassroots. We do have the support of Gamehaven, who's very big behind us, but Minicon itself and its activities are solely a brainchild of a few of us very passionate geeks in my area. But yeah,
I'm loving it.
That's Instagram.
I'm just pointing out that this is all with the switcher. I'm not doing the share thing because StreamYard totally gives you a thing, but because I've got the other camera set up as my other computer, I can just do it like this.
So fancy.
Squee.
Yeah, I put all of these photos up in the past 24 hours, so Instagram's pretty upset with me. It thinks I'm a spam account, but I promise I created it today. That's us.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else? I mean, Minicon's going to be great, and it's so funny, too. I remember when we were trying to come up with the name, I was messaging several, like, small convention creators here and just getting help, like, bouncing off names. There were so many, I'm sure. That's always the hardest part, but something about Minicon, it's like, I guess, yeah, it's a mini convention. That's what I'm going to stick to when it comes to like branding decisions or event coordinating for Minicon. At the end of the day, it is going to be small compared to, like your comic cons and your fan cons, your expos, because it's always going to take place somewhere local, like a game store. And yeah, it's just hard because so many people want to become a part of it. You can only stay small for so long,
right?
But
we had the same sort of thing up here, and we kind of talked. I think we talked about it. We talked about the Intense Con portion of what one of our local stores did, but they also did Game a Lot, and it started as a store convention entirely, and then event. After a number of years, they moved to a bigger store. Full stop. And then ended up having to actually move to an entirely separate space. Now so just for the record, I've got a lemon raspberry matcha that I've also now mixed with that orange juice.
I want to try the lemon raspberry. That sounds awesome.
I'm excited. I don't know how it's going to taste. Let's go like that. Nope. There we go.
If this brand wholesales, I could possibly look into getting it into my store.
I believe they are looking at it. I do have their contact info.
Well, you'll have to send that to me.
Yes. It's Miraru is the brand, and they were wonderful people. They were next to me at the Tea Expo, giving away all the matcha
expo,
stuff.
The Tea Expo.
It was a blast. It was connected to the Restaurant and Bar Expo.
Ooh.
So, I mean, there was almost 60 tea vendors there and 200-something bar and restaurant-related ones. So, like, it's stuff that I can't get up in Canada. So, I got Ghost Pepper Tequila that I got to try. I got some margarita coolers that had habanero in it. I got to see a robot that
do you like spicy
to make
stuff?
Your drinks.
Sounds
I
like
don't mind to a certain extent. At PAX Unplugged, I think it was, or possibly Origins. We did a media thing, and one of the companies sponsored a drink called the Jalapeno Rita, I think, or something along those lines. But it was margarita mix with jalapeno juice. And I did discover you needed about 3 shots of this juice compared to what they normally do to get that proper amount of. You can feel it, but not too hot.
Huh. Yeah, that lemon raspberry sounds awesome. We will. I don't have them up yet. They probably won't be announced till the day of, but because Gamehaven has a coffee shop inside, there will be Minicon specials. They're going to be like nerd themed. Is that hot?
This is absolutely. I would have to put a next, the little E, and no kids get to see it if I really use the proper words to describe how amazing this actually really is.
Damn, I want to try it. You gotta send some to me down here in Utah. I gotta check it out.
Oh, we got some new people here. Oh, there we go. We got a cosplayer here, Eric Allen Hall. I love the cosplay aspect of Minicon, meeting other cosplayers. And
the cosplay is super amping up. It was very small our first year, but again, everything about Minicon keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger every year. And I am suspecting that will scale with how many cosplayers we have show up. We're going to have a photographer, videographer, capturing all that in high color contrast, everybody looking amazing. I can't wait for those. As the social media person, I love all the photos and videos that come out after.
Every geeky event needs food and beverages.
It really does. And we have our coffee shop, and then we actually have a special guest from TikTok who will be joining us for this event, and they are going to be setting up a mock tavern, and they will be vending specialty fantasy themed sodas.
Ooh.
And possibly having some very, very exclusive, first time ever Minicon merch to go along with them. And the only way you're going to be able to get them, sorry for you out of towners, but is to be there. So they're going to have some cool merch, and then a ramen food truck, which is incredible. And hopefully that'll keep all of us fed who will be working the event for the 8 to 9 hours that we'll be hosting it.
What did I have was there? Dragon. You have two dragon coffees. What was the mocha one? Dragon.
So we have a rotating specialty menu, and you happen to catch us towards the end of our Valentine's specials, and it was the fiery dragon breath, because all of our Valentine's specials were also semi RPG themed. So you have a bow and arrow themed one, because archers, and there was, my favorite was the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, like the monster, and the drink was purple. It's amazing. So fiery dragon's breath is, I'm gonna give away the secret to anybody who works in a cafe, or if you just go to your local coffee shop, you just order this. It's a dark chocolate mocha with a pump of chai, a pump of cinnamon powder, and if you want to get funky with it, you can add cayenne powder to it. Not pepper, just a little bit of the powder.
You that was not your idea though. That you hate. You were all over me for what I said.
Yeah, my coworker, oh my gosh, when you work at a game store, most of the time your coworkers are just amazing because they all want to be there. But my coworker, he loves pawning off spicy drinks. He makes a drink called the Dragon Soul, which is really, really strong. This is for those of you who want something that's really going to get you going in the morning. It is drip coffee, espresso, and cayenne. So it's basically a little bit spicy, but it's like an Americano if you replace the water with drip coffee. So you got even more caffeine. And then you can add a splash of creamer to make it a real beverage, but you can just go full coffee, little bit of spice, and just does
he put the cayenne in after, or is it in with the grounds for the drip?
I think he puts it on top, but I had never thought of doing that. Putting it in the coffee grounds.
because that's the old trick with cinnamon and sometimes nutmeg and stuff, right? You put it in with the grounds.
I don't want to admit that I am a bad barista, but I may have learned something today.
You are not a bad barista, but
That sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna do that with cinnamon. Maybe less the cayenne thing, but we do serve cinnamon at our store.
see, and the thing, I do French press. I'm now gonna have to try that with the cayenne just because I can.
It makes sense too, because you get the flavor, but you filter out like the grittiness of the spice itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting idea. I'll have to maybe think of that since our mini-con specials haven't gone up. Consider something that might have a little bit of a kick, since our special guests are called the smoking barrel. This will be the barrel that was on fire beforehand.
Yeah. So what I think I'm going to do for anyone who's just tuning in is I'm going to replay that commercial that I played during the opening.
I love that commercial.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go... So I'm not using my normal StreamYard account, so I got to wade through a bunch of other extra stuff. But here we go. So I'm going to put this up just so we're not having to look at us at the same time. And I'm going to scroll down here. And which one is that? I've got them labeled terribly. I think this is the right one.
Hey Geeks of Utah, have you heard of MiniCon yet? MiniCon is a mini convention held at Gamehaven Sandy here in Utah. And did I mention that it's free? At MiniCon, we're going to have special guests like Elowen and Porter from The Smoking Barrel. We're going to have tons of local artists vending and selling some of their cool, original creations and artwork. The Artist Alley is definitely one of the biggest highlights at MiniCon itself. Of course, we're going to have tons of meetups. I'm going to go ahead and post the schedule on screen, so make sure you screenshot it now. MiniCon is going to be held Saturday, April 9th from noon till 6 p.m. There's going to be a food truck, cosplayer, meetups, and all kinds of exciting things, so you're not going to want to miss out on this one.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow.
Oops.
That one is so funny. Oh my gosh.
I'm a horrible human being. I fully acknowledge this.
No, it's posted on the internet for everyone to see.
It's true.
I love that meme right now of the very confused out in outer space. Oh my god, it's so good. I love TikTok memes in general.
You too. And it's fun.
Yeah, if you want to follow us, our TikTok account is Coffee and Game Haven. Because we have coffee and we have games and we're basically a haven. So that's our TikTok.
I don't have that written down, so I didn't put it up. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It flashed at the end of the video. Plus, when you
did.
download a TikTok, it bounces around the screen. So
yeah,
it shouldn't be too hard.
YouTube's gonna hate me, and so is Facebook, quite frankly, at the end of all of this, because oh no, there's music, and oh no, there's TikTok labels, and the algorithm hates that.
Yeah, the algorithm's really trying to snuff TikTok for some reason. Maybe it's because they're jealous of how popular it is.
Maybe. So, I think I'm going to do some box opening. What do you think? We can keep talking Mega Hunt at the same time, but...
It depends on what you're opening.
I don't know yet, because I literally came home to this. But one thing I did do is... I cleared some space there. But I'm going to try that... the raspberry matcha without juice. And hot. So it's going to heat that up. You can see it's red on there. So.
A warm matcha sounds awesome.
And it is always my thing. I have to point this out. We're going to go like this. Christian Basil, look, I covered my address.
Were you not doing that, you crazy person?
I am. I always have. But my darling, wonderful Christian Basil of The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. That was the wrong version of that picture, but that's okay. Does not. There we go. There's the regular one. Ding. Had not done it for a box opening. Gotcha. And that was we've basically tormented him ever since.
Yeah, that's a very not safe thing to do.
Yeah. So
I wish I had something to unbox. Well, maybe I can mention some of the cool things I saw at Gamma that I wish I had in front of me, and
Yes.
manifest that I will be purchasing at my store when they come out. One of the fun things that I saw was a board game called Decorum by Floodgate Games, I believe. And it mimics the vibe of Fog of Love, if anybody's heard of that. Fog of Love is like a crazy cool, like, I don't want to say role-playing, but like simulation board game for 2 players. And because it's so heavy into like theme and story, it's kind of hard to get into it when you're just with one other person. So Decorum is now for 4 people. And in Fog of Love, you're pretending to be 2 people trying to fall in love. In Decorum, you are a bunch of roommates trying to decorate your house, and you're using passive-aggressive comments to say what you like and what you're okay with, without giving away what your exact tastes are supposed to be.
Yes. I saw this at Dice Tower West.
Yeah.
Rado was playing it with some of his people. So that was awesome.
Yeah, I got a little demo of it, and even just with a coworker of mine, like, we got so into it. We were very heated, and like just the passive aggressive vibes that it brings out is amazing, because you're just sitting there like, no, I hate that painting, and you can't tell them why, and they're like, okay, fine, how about a lamp? And you're like, no lamp. And they're like, what am I supposed to do? And everybody's just like fighting and arguing. It's amazing. But I can't wait to play it some more and have some awesome arguments.
Here we go. Methodology. The murder on the links. Like I said, I have a vague idea what's in these boxes, but I'm not entirely sure. So Grey Wolf Games sent me this one, and it's based on the Agatha Christie story.
Oh.
So it's a mystery game. I have this camera up, so let's look at that camera. Hi.
So many cameras, so many angles.
Oh, I'm so this is my DSLR, which is why you can see all the garbage around the outside. And I just kind of only just jacked it into the system because, again, I just got this little switcher box. But yes, a social deduction card game. Take on the roles of suspect and sleuth from Agatha Christie's acclaimed detective novel, The Murder on the Links. Use your little gray cells to gather evidence, eliminate suspects, and ultimately level an accusation. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And that's a reasonable, it's a reasonable Perro.
So it's a social deduction board game?
Looks that way, doesn't it?
I would deduct so.
Yes, I would deduct so from the fact that it says a social deduction card game.
Are you going to be doing a review of this one?
Yes. That is the plan, so you'll get to hear all of my thoughts.
Yes, I haven't heard of that one, so I will need some guided opinions.
My review of the lemon raspberry matcha on its own, yum.
That's good.
So this is the hot one, and it's not too hot. It doesn't boil the water or anything like that.
Oh yeah, that would be.
So it's still like drinkable.
That sounds good. Lemon raspberry matcha. I'm logging all of these ideas away for recipes in my store. I'll just steal them.
Oh yeah, by all means. I'm sure no one will mind that.
Yeah.
So the only downside to this particular setup is my camera is not being set up properly. Is it just goes to sleep every now and then?
Yeah. What's this one from?
Looks like. Ooh, this one's from Greater Than Games.
Greater Than Games?
Yes. I am fairly certain I know what this is.
the intrigue. It's just off camera. Is this a book?
That is a book. That is Cheap Ass Games in black and white. That Cheap Ass Games brought out not terribly long ago. So that is basically that has every Cheap Ass game ever made basically in it. And I did not realize how dang thick that is.
Yeah, that's a chonky boy.
iPhone for scale.
Oh my gosh.
Like
And
that's
it has
dictionary.
games. Is it like a false book?
No, it's so the original Cheap Ass Games, for all you youngsters out there,
Yes.
were
please.
basically mimeographed, photocopied, black and white on cardstock. They would cut things manually. They had a giant guillotine cutter.
Did you just pronounce the
All my
L
copies
in
are rendered.
guillotine?
Yes, I probably did. I'm terrible.
Is that a Canadian thing or is that a you thing?
It probably just a me thing.
Okay. I don't know with you Canadians what your isms all are.
True. But yeah, so that, and then we put them in, stuff them in what little white envelopes. You'd get just enough of whatever to play the game, whether that's cards, books, whatever. If you needed dice, if you needed pawns, if you needed money, you basically went over and stole it from Monopoly.
Huh.
The whole gimmick was it was the minimal amount you needed to get.
Okay. So you just steal your pieces from Monopoly. You cannibalize it.
Yep. And that was the second thing that was in there.
Oh hey, it's TAC. Talk?
It is the TAC.
TAC.
It is the newest version of TAC,
Oh.
which I'm so excited for. This one I'm just going to crack right open. So
Is it
I
gonna
have
play differently or does it just like look newer and prettier?
just looks newer and prettier.
Okay.
So I can play. I have enough TAC to run a tournament between various sets. This is the new box is a little bit thinner, and open that up.
Fresh board game farts are the best.
Yes, isn't it though?
Does it have
So it's
that
got-
new board game smell?
I have a terrible sense of smell, maybe, but it. So we've got one double-sided board, two double-sided board, three double-sided board.
Are these just like different sizes to play the game with?
Yes, this I'm not used to. I have not seen that style because that's your 3x3 or 4x4, depending if you play on the dots or the spaces. But that's interesting. I've not seen that, but prior. I will check to see if it is. They did not send this. I just pulled it off my bookshelf because I have the companion book. I haven't seen, so I don't know. Which, by the way, the companion book also has a space on the back.
This is like
And
chess.
ooh,
There's so many versions.
Oh, it's velvety. This is beautiful. This is oh my goodness. And then so with TAC, you've got different colors pieces, but they're also different shapes. This is a bit hard to see. And
I've actually never played TAC.
Pretty cool.
I haven't played it yet.
all right. Now we'll remove this. And where's my 5x5 board? 6x6. There's my 5x5 board. All right. I'm going to pop my microphone this way so I have a little bit, can get a little closer. So the point of TAC is to create a road from one end of the board to the other. Not side to side as like this. This is not legal. However, it does not have to be straight. So that is perfectly legal. You can play a wall, which is your piece standing up on the end, which is why it's not a full circle. Wow. If I had this going on, that is not a completed road. a wall never completes a road.
Okay.
There's also a piece called the capstone. I'm going to come back to that in a second. On your turn, you must play into an open space, but once there's something played, you can move on top of another piece. Whatever's on top of this stack controls the stack. So I want to take this whole stack. I could take another piece. This piece could then take that whole stack. This whole stack can move in a straight line. You do not have to leave something in the space you are on, but you leave one every space beyond. So
like
if I go
Mancala?
here, basically, in this case, if I do that, so I have a little bit more pieces. So you can only take as many as whatever size board. So it's a 5x5 board. I can take 5 of these pieces. So in this case, I have to leave something behind. I would do that. I would do that. So I left 2 there, 2 there.
But you chose where you broke it off.
Yes.
Okay.
So you could potentially, if I'd had this one farther back and a slightly different way, I could have gone all the way across. That's rare, but it happens. So a wall can also take over a stack, but a wall cannot be stacked upon, which is where the capstones come in. Capstone also cannot be stacked upon, but it can knock over a wall, and it becomes part of your road.
Okay.
So it's that's why there's only one of that piece, and that's the very, very short version of TAC.
Uh-huh.
I have not demoed TAC in a very long time, so it was a little bit more awkward than I'm used to demoing it.
A little bit rusty.
A little bit rusty, but I mean, this is, if you ask me what my favorite game is, I'm going to give you a baloney answer first, but ultimately it's TAC.
Wait, what do you mean baloney answer? Like, is it you cater to who you're talking to?
Sometimes, or my favorite game is the next one I play because it means I'm still working. Exactly.
Okay. I get it. Okay.
So yeah. And I've got one more box here. One more piece. So yeah, so that but if you press me, TAC is going to be my number one.
Okay.
Always. Like I said, I have enough of it to run my own tournament. It is just a glorious. Yes. A couple of times. Once failed miserably, just out of dumb luck. But yes.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm going to turn this one back on. I will have to figure out how to get that. Okay, why are you still not working? I was trying to turn my other camera on. It didn't want to work. I'm going to have to go all the way around. So I'm not going to have to talk because I'm doing that. There we go. Yes. I didn't warn the audience, but I did warn you it'd be a little bit crazy.
You did.
Boom.
You're back.
So I got one more box. I'm back.
Who's this one from?
This one is also from Grey Wolf Games, which makes me. I'm still not sure why their logistics people sent it twice, like in 2 packages, but
Probably from different distribution centers.
It's possible, yeah. So Wu Wei, the journey of the changing path. So it is an interestingly themed abstract strategy game. And I do love my abstract strategies.
Yes.
So this one is... Yes, we've had that conversation.
Yeah.
In this tabletop adventures, masters secretly train students to become martial arts lineage holders, while an ambitious new emperor tries to unify his people again under one banner. Leap into the world of Wu Wei and sharpen your skills with new strategies and rapidly changing circumstances.
Dum dum dum.
Have you played this game before?
No. I just opened the box.
Well,
Still
it's been
shrinking.
out for a while.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. I only just got it. Basically, I think they have something new coming out, if I remember right. And these were the two that I was able to do a little bit faster.
Gotcha.
Because time is a thing.
You don't say.
I kind of wish it wasn't, but time is a thing. Oh, I've got a whole bunch of comments here that the downside to doing everything is I missed a bunch of things. Let's just go back here. Yes, this is true. Boiling water would, in fact, burn the matcha. You should have matcha lemonade in your store for the summer.
I will probably throw that up on our menu.
Yeah. There we go.
Getting good ideas here.
That book is giving me complete works of William Shakespeare vibes. Big book intimidation. It is 3/4 of complete works, size wise.
Wow.
It's not large. Well, here. I suppose I could just look at the page count.
The pages are numbered.
Yes, they are.
You're gonna cut them up though.
No, so 628 pages
Of game.
of game and history of games.
Oh, that's fun.
So it's everything. So I'm going to switch back to this because this camera is going to be backwards just because of the way I got it set up. But it's got different.
That is dense too. Like that text can get small.
It is all at a glance about regular size to what it would have been. Like this is about the right size. I'd have to pull one of my envelopes out, but that is upstairs and far enough away that I'm not going to just leave that much dead air. Yeah. Unless you want to babble on for 2 minutes by yourself.
I don't have anything in the chamber ready.
No, I didn't think you did. But yeah, this is a great, it's basically everything. Ooh, it's got button men in here. I'm curious to see how they handled that. Because button men was neat. And that it was literally, wait. Boop. Literally buttons. That you would put on, yes, like a button.
Oh.
And it has stats on it. And you could go around and fight. The new edition that came out shortly after they were taken over by Greater Than Games moved everything to being cards. So you can see here's what the button looks like, and then the cards, obviously in black and white, not in color.
Yeah.
But it's the exact same game. They are virtually identical in function. There's stuff on drive-through cards that you can still get, older cards. So there's a lot of good stuff. There's also for button men Sailor Moon Crystal version, and I forget what the actual full name is called. But it's from Japanime Games and Daisuke, and it's button men because there was a Sailor Moon button men set.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I can get you the full name, not right now because I'm not fast enough.
Uh-huh.
But it's such a great game. Take that off as well. So let's go over here. See, we're just babbling. This is not the. I hope this is an entertaining show for people. It's certainly a bit of a spastic weird thing, but
Yeah, speaking of spastic and weird, I've had my cat in the background this whole time, just obsessed with the door.
That is totally reasonable.
That's free extra entertainment there.
Exactly. Here, I'm going to pull up, since we were talking about Gamma, I did strip the video out of this, or the sound out of this one, because
it's mostly song. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see
Those
what
of you who didn't get to go, get just a little taste. a little.
Exactly. And because there's no sound, we can still keep talking.
Oh, this is already such fun memories, even though it was like 2 weeks ago.
Mm.
Ooh, that
The
one was
spill
one
I'm
of my
looking forward to.
favorites. Oh, I can't wait for the spill. You have no idea. Ah. Oh, and Azul. There's another Azul coming out. And Boop. Oh my god. See,
Boop.
just so many
Boop
things.
is amazing. So Boop is coming from Smirk and Dagger, as is the spell.
Oh yeah.
The spill is a bit of a reverse tower defense sort of a thing.
Yeah.
But Boop is abstract strategy where you are cats.
I was just gonna say, is it an abstract strategy game? Is that why you're so excited?
Yeah. 100% is.
I
And you're like bouncing kittens off the thing and trying to get cats. It's
I don't know when it's coming out, but this should be a good sign that one of my distributors did announce that retailers should get their pre-orders in. So
yeah.
that means
It was,
hopefully things are moving along.
if I remember right, one was scheduled for May and I think the other one in June or something.
Well, the spill was kickstarted, so and that one is less in prototype mode than the Boop is. So hopefully the spill's coming. I don't think it'll be ready for Earth Day, which is really sad, but I'm still gonna pick it up once it comes out because I love Earth themed games.
Yeah. So is that tacked from the book? Oh, Tack, TAK, and yes, Tack comes from The Name of the Wind, part of the King Killer Chronicles from Patrick Rothfuss. The story of how that game came to be is really fun. Maybe I'll come back to it. We'll see where else. This is a great game to play when waiting for food at a restaurant. That's how Dave taught that one to me.
Ooh, that's Hive for me because there's Hive the Pocket Edition.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just take it in your purse with you and you're on a really awkward date or maybe a really good date and you want something to do, it fits on a coffee table. It's fantastic.
Oh, I know that game. I have that game. Now, unfortunately, because I'm behind, I'm not sure which one he's talking about.
So I actually caught that one. I'm on my phone here. It was the Way one, the WE.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that. And yes, Boop is totally a cat game. If you go back later when we're not live, so I don't have to show the whole video again because I can't there's a picture at the end. You were literally kittens and cats bouncing around on a bed.
Oh yeah,
with a quilt. It's great.
I think it's going to be a really big seller. Now, I don't think it's necessarily going to replace how much I order something like Shobu, but it is going to be something I order a lot of.
Oh yeah. And Shobu is also one of my favorite games. So it's the fact that I agree with you on that says a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, oh my gosh, the last time I played Shobu, there's even my friend got a photo of us playing it, but I'm sitting there like this, almost like oh god, I just forgot that Netflix show about chess.
Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, I'm sitting there intense, look, it's a great game, but neither of us are smiling because we literally don't have the mental energy to focus on any of our masking, anything. We're just zoomed into this game. It was so freaking intense that it is such a cutthroat a chess game. But it's great.
It kind of is. Yeah, exactly. In the best possible way. It's true.
Yeah, it's a fantastic simulation of a chess game, which I love.
Yeah, I ended up. I very rarely get to play things when I go to conventions. I'm either usually helping out with one of the exhibitors or meeting with publishers, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But there was a Shobu tournament, and I made sure to go compete in that one. And I'm like, okay, don't worry, I'll be back soon. It's showing as a 3-hour tournament or whatever it is. Don't worry, I'll probably be back in 20 minutes. Somehow I managed to go undefeated in the preliminary round. And was the only person to do that. So I got a bye to the finals while everyone else had to play through a quarterfinal, semifinal. Oh, wow. And that close to winning. It was down to one stone either way.
Oh, no.
And amusingly, it was was it Hamish McBagpipe or something along those lines. He's got a wonderful handle rather than a real name, but he's from Vancouver or Victoria. I don't remember which one. So the Nevada state champion for Shobu was always going to be a Canadian.
Oh, you Canadians coming down here and outsmarting the rest of us.
Yes.
Well, now I gotta play you. I gotta see how hard this is.
Yeah. All right. Maybe I'll come down for SaltCon in the summer.
Yes.
Or
there is a big
a
board
future
game
minicon
convention this summer.
Yep.
Oh, minicon's not gonna get that big. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Maybe next year. Who knows?
We'll see. We'll see what special guests I can get in the future. That's what helps make it big for sure. And TikTok.
Exactly. So here's what we're gonna do. We're almost. I try to keep it to an hour, right? So we're basically coming up on that now.
Yeah.
Give us all of your details. Give us all the minicon. Where can we find you? Where can we find the store? Where can we find minicon?
Yeah. So, minicon is right here. Minicon Utah on Instagram, and at the very least, if you get there, more information will be coming out about like a Facebook and other ways to get information. You can also find the link to the website in the bio of Minicon Utah, because right now it's a web page of my friend's website, so doesn't have a good short URL yet. So that's Minicon Utah, which is being hosted by Gamehaven in Utah. Our ats are all your Gamehaven. It's the your friendly local game store, since it belongs to all of us. And you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at your Gamehaven. And then me, your gracious host of all things gaming and coffee from Gamehaven. I'm Dizney on everything with 2 Z's. Right here, I'm just Dizney on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. So that's generally where you can find us, but if you just Google Gamehaven, it won't get you far from what you're looking for the most part.
Right. And we're going to be looking at the Sandy location for minicon specifically.
Yeah, as far as like the address goes, however, most of our social media is representative of all of our locations. That's why I normally specify what location something is happening when it does.
Right. Excellent. So we're going to like this, and I'm going to pop back. Oh, look at that. It's me. I'm big. And I gotta scroll through so much stuff on this account. That's okay. All right, and ding, there we go. So right here is where I would normally have logos for Minicon and Gamehaven. So we didn't. This was last minute. We didn't have that. But thank you very much to Gamehaven and Minicon and Dizney for coming on to see this. Thank you to Ragin, who is still sponsoring right now, at least, to the StreamYard. Along with Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Thank you to Geekorama.net, who is co-broadcasting this over on their Facebook page. And, of course, the 427s, whose music you hear at the front and end of this particular show. Don't forget, we do have all of our social media at Linktree, linktr.ee/TheRatHole.ca. You can find our YouTube, our Facebook. Where are you watching this if you don't know those things? Our Instagram. We don't have a TikTok yet. But thank you very much, and thank you again, Diz, for coming on and being part of this, because it's been fun. It's been a blast. Yay! Yes. It has. So we're gonna. Nope, that's not what I need. So many things. There we go. Well, thank you again. And until next time, good gaming and goodbye.